Hey, welcome back. I've got a little bonus video today before we get onto the final video in this series, looking at 10 or the top 10 factors contributing to your high blood sugar. Um, in our coaching program, we have over 150 different topics and different factors that we can look at changing to improve insulin sensitivity and get your blood sugar down. But today I'm going to just talk through the top 10 with some quick tips and things that you can have a think about, and then maybe go and do some extra research as well on your own. So let's get straight in. Number one would be muscle mass and resistance exercise. Again, for me, probably one of the most important topics to focus on because muscle acts like a storage tank or a sponge for glucose. It absorbs it out of your blood. The more muscle mass we have generally improves insulin sensitivity along that spectrum as well. So resistance training helps lower blood sugar over time, and exercise after meals can reduce glucose spikes and suppress how high blood sugar goes. Consistency matters more than doing anything extreme here. So like we said in the recommendations, doing at least 2 sessions a week and progressing that slowly over time is the most important thing to think about. Macronutrient balance, kind of covering a couple of different topics in one here, but this is the proportions of your food intake that is either carbohydrates, protein and fats, and trying to balance those accordingly. Protein and fibre will help to slow glucose absorption into the blood and again suppress those blood sugar spikes, so aim to increase those where you can. Carbs can then be easier to manage when paired with protein and healthy fats and anything else that's going to slow down the digestion of carbs turning into glucose. Liquid carbs usually spike blood sugar faster because those are easier to absorb. Balanced meals also improve fullness and energy stability. If you're not having those spikes and crashes, you won't have those symptoms associated with the crash, so you'll feel like your energy is more stable for a longer period of time, and it also will help with insulin sensitivity. And then remember that not all carbs affect blood sugar equally. We use the GI scale to see how quickly different carbs affect blood sugar, so go for the low GI carbs where you can. Fibre and gut health. So fibre is really important. It slows digestion and glucose absorption. Our gut bacteria influence insulin sensitivity and inflammation. So with more fibre and better gut health, we'll have better insulin sensitivity. Most people eat far less fibre than the recommended 30 grams per day. So really important that you aim to increase that where you can. Beans, oats, berries, seeds and vegetables are all great choices. Fermented foods are also great for gut health, or you can use supplements as well to help with fibre and gut health. Stress management is often one that people forget or neglect. So stress hormones can raise blood sugar levels. Cortisol, adrenaline, things like that basically sort of tell your body to prepare for fight or flight, and when they do that, they tell the liver to release glucose into the blood, increasing blood sugar. Poor sleep often worsens stress and glucose control as well, and chronic stress also increases cravings and hunger hormones, further making things harder. Exercise, walking, relaxation techniques, anything really that you know helps with stress and mental health is going to help with this, even if it doesn't necessarily feel like it's helping. In the background, it can be doing a lot of good work for your hormones and your blood sugar. Meal timing and nutrient order. So eating protein and vegetables before your carbs can help to reduce blood sugar spikes. What we don't want to do is have what we call naked carbs or carbs first, where on an empty stomach you're eating your carbs and those are then digested quickly and give you a big spike. So think about not just the balance of the meal, but the order of which you eat those foods. Late night overeating can also worsen your morning blood glucose readings or your fasted readings, so have a think about that. Larger meals often create bigger spikes than smaller balanced meals, and then more regular meal timing can also improve appetite control and just help keep things a bit easier rather than having your meals at all different times of day, changing it every day. Try and keep things as similar as you can. Fluid intake and alcohol. So dehydration worsens blood sugar control. Sugary drinks are one of the biggest causes of blood sugar spikes. Again, liquid sugars digest and absorb very quickly. Alcohol can affect blood sugar differently depending on intake and if you have it with food or not. Alcohol also does worsen insulin sensitivity as well. Many coffees and smoothies will contain hidden calories, hidden sugars. So have a think about the types of drinks you're having when eating out as well. And then aim for your 2 litres of water daily, or it may be more or slightly less depending on you as a person and body size and activity levels, etc. But stay hydrated. Hidden sugars and food labels. So this is often one that people get confused by. There's a few things that I would look at and think about first of all. So healthy foods can still contain large amounts of sugar, large amounts of carbs. They can still be high GI. For example, just because a food is labelled high protein, it doesn't necessarily mean it's great for blood sugar. It might be high sugar or high in something else. So do have a look at the full nutrition label, not just the marketing that's on the front. Watch out for sauces, cereals, granola, smoothies, snack bars. Often all of these are crammed with sugar in them. Ingredients lists often reveal more than the front packaging, so always flip over to the back. Remember that ingredients lists are listed in order, so the foods you see at the top of that list is the most of those things in there. So if you see sugar at the top, have a look how much sugar is in there, because it's probably going to be quite a lot. Liquid sugars, usually the easiest calories to overconsume, and then portion size still matters even with healthier food. Just because something's considered healthy doesn't mean that we can have loads and loads of it. Eating out and social occasions, probably one of the most difficult things that we have to try and manage, but it does get a lot easier when you know the sort of things you should be thinking about. So restaurant meals are often higher in calories, fat and sugars, normally down to oils and cooking methods and things they use in portion size as well. So consider that. Start your meals with protein or vegetables, again thinking about nutrient order when possible. If you are going to have desserts, sides or things like that, then maybe try and share and reduce portion size where you can. Also, don't stress on it too much. One meal isn't going to ruin your progress. Consistency matters the most. So we use what we call the 80-20 rule, trying to do the right things 80% of the time, 20% of the time having leeway to enjoy yourself and have a treat every now and again. And then planning ahead can help to avoid impulsive choices. So take a look at the menu before you go. Have a think about the types of restaurants you're going to be going to, and maybe if you know the restaurant you're going to won't have many high protein meals, maybe you try and get your protein in earlier in the day, or similar things to that. Fat consumption and types of fats. So not all fats are bad. Healthy fats help with fullness and hormone health. Nuts, olive oil, seeds and oily fish are all great options for this. Personal favourite would be avocados as well. Trans fats and saturated fats should be limited. You'll normally find these things in pastries, cakes, chocolate, fast food and deep fried foods and things like that. High fat meals can obviously be calorie dense. Fat has the most calories out of any of the nutrients, so remember that. And then combining high fat and high sugar makes foods easiest to overeat. So things like the donuts and cakes, even if it looks like a small amount, they can be super high calorie, high fat, high sugar, therefore easy to overeat. Vitamins and minerals. So a few of them that I'd have a think about. Magnesium may support insulin sensitivity and can also improve sleep, which is another risk factor. Omega-3s support heart and metabolic health. Vitamin D deficiency is really common, especially in the UK. Supplements support habits, they don't replace them. So the clue is in the name of supplements. They're supposed to supplement a healthy diet, not replace it. And then food quality still matters more than any supplement alone. So supplements aren't going to fix the issue. They're just an added 1% here and there. And the last thing, the last sort of note or topic I would think about is your mindset and your behaviour change. So implementation is far more important than education. Educating yourself is still a top priority. But implementation of that knowledge is far more important, because that's what drives change and drives results. It's better to try and then understand and implement one thing at a time and then move on to the next, rather than attempting to learn everything at once and getting overwhelmed and just not getting started. Coaching can obviously help to structure this and lay it all out in a plan and pick out the areas that you want to focus on based on where you might be going wrong. That's what we do. Or you can head over to Instagram. We've got loads more free tips, advice, videos. Or you can give me a message and let me know any questions you have, and I'll be happy to help. Please subscribe for more videos like this. There's one more in this little mini series. If you have any questions, put them in the comments or send me a message, and I'll see you in the next one.